Hello, Landria back from Hurricane Idalia. I'm going to share that information with you. I'm going to talk about what does that hurricane and fires, Donald Trump, and many other things going on right now have in common. I'm going to tell you because I'm going to ask you some questions and you might have a come to heart kind of talk with yourself after we examine a few things here. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. As usual, the hurricane, nowhere near us, but it did create some elevated levels of water, mostly because we were at high tide. We were completely unscathed here, just a few palm leaves all over the place, and our water came up and never breached the wall. Once again, we call it the Indian Princess of St. Petersburg, and we were missed, and everybody is safe. A very interesting hurricane, though. I'm going to talk about the hurricane. Now, I evacuated. It was mandatory. I evacuated, went to friends' homes, and we just had a blast. They're on really high land. But I want to talk about that and other things that are going on. What about the fires? What about these things that are happening? Donald Trump's a great example of some sensationalized news that we hear that I'm going to ask you a few questions about. When these things occur, whether it's a natural disaster, things that happen to us personally, or the media that is sharing sensational stories. When I say sensational, it's always a spin of things, usually one way or the other, depending on which channel you're watching. How is it possible for that to happen? How can we have one story over here and one story over here about the same thing? I'll tell you how. Because there are no two exact realities. It's impossible. Because nobody's looking through your eyes with your circumstances, your thoughts and beliefs. What each of these situations does for us, and this is going to be critical for where you go from this place forward, whether you shift into a reality that is hopeful and bright, or you shift into one that is a I told you so, we were going to hell in a handbasket attitude. It is 100% what you're believing. Now, what happens with these situations? They're testing us. So here's my question for you. When you go through these crises, are you just observing? It's sensational. I'm going to just focus on this because, that's what it's meant to do that for us, right? They want to get eyeballs. Or are you doing something about it? Or are you arguing about it? All right? So we talk about Donald Trump. Are you analyzing, taking sides? Well, guess what? You'll never have the facts, the real facts. And you'll never know the personal thoughts and intentions of every single player involved in those situations. You can't know it. Even if they say it, you cannot know exactly what motivates them, where they're coming from. You will never know 100% the facts because you are observing from a story that's told to you. Same thing, it goes with Lahaina fires. Yeah? Well, guess what? I gave you guys a first-hand email from my friend who was there, and there was still people arguing about what was happening when she point-blank said what happened and she was there. We are creators of fantastical stories, and we can create any reality. And people who say they did this and this is what it was for, it's a conspiracy, you create that reality because you believe it. And if you believe it, it's real. That's just how it works. And if somebody else says, well, they're just conspiracies, Landria, it's not real, I'll say, yes. But you believe it's not real and they're conspiracies. The person who believes the conspiracy believes it's real. It's about your beliefs. These are all situations testing us. Our response is everything. It is up to your response to change your reality and the collective. You are responsible for the collective. There's no separation between you and I. What are we going to do about this? If you are arguing points, taking sides, this political party, that political party, you are in separation and density, which will take you into a reality of separation and conflict. It's how we've been living. We want to move out of that, right? You're on my channel. I suspect that you're probably incentivized to make some changes and participate in that. Be the facilitator of the positive changes. This is how things are. And the answer is yes. Are you arguing? Are you telling somebody they're wrong and you're defending somebody? Let's say the case of this whole arrest thing going on. I actually don't even know why all that's happening because I have no time to focus on something that happened whenever. And as far as I'm concerned, it will take its course. But when I'm focusing on something so negative and I'm listening to people argue, which, by the way, I haven't. I don't even know what the arguments are, but I suspect there always are arguments and side-taking. Then what am I creating? A world of conflict. I want you to disregard the actual incident itself of the fire, of the hurricane, of the whatever, and say, where am I in here participating? How am I participating in it? Am I helping other people? Do I open my home? My friends opened their home to me and I stayed with them. I was really relieved because pretty much all my friends were in the evacuation zone. I didn't have too many choices that were close by. Are you the person that creates that positive, giving, loving, caring, protective society? Or are you the one that is closing your doors because it's inconvenient? Are you the one who's watching the negative news, hook, line, and sinker, and just arguing with other people because you're defending a story that you really don't know is true or not? The story of guilt or innocence, either one. You are facilitating the conflict and negativity of a planet that has to change. And so we talk about the fires, we talk about the hurricanes. They are all opportunities for us to come together. That's all they are. And so when other people get into trouble, we let them play out their role, whatever they chose and whatever consequences there are. We are going to allow it to play out as it should. And so arguing about anything or placing your attention on things that are so negative and consuming, you're getting sucked into the world and you are going into unconsciousness. We must focus on the new world and what we can do to change things. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is a future, a probability right now that exists that is amazing because there are no limits to probabilities in any situation. None. No limits. If I said that we were going to go into an enlightened state and we would have the abilities to, as I've shared with you before, walk through walls, which is possible. If we could do that, Christ walked on water. I'm sure he could walk through walls too. So we know it's possible. He demonstrated that, yet we argue about that. Sort of silly, isn't it? So if we get in a state like that, imagine what we could do. We would heal ourselves. We wouldn't even get sick in the first place. We would have such great respect for the planet and one another. There would be no conflict. There would be nothing to defend or argue. We'd always have each other's best interests in mind. So we'd be in a world that was constantly giving and caring. How amazing would that be? Do you think that would be boring? I think a little bit of what we do here is because we find these things exciting. It's exciting when a hurricane comes in. Now, it's not exciting for people to lose their homes. I'm talking about the side of us that when there's some controversy in the world that shakes things up. It is. It's exciting, isn't it? It's why we go watch horror movies and all kinds of things that get you all shook up. Arguing. Yeah, all of it. So you got to watch that. Because if that's the world that you want to live in, you got to be very particular about what you pick and choose that is exciting. So what are we going to do right now? We're going to create a world wherein we can have an exciting world. And these challenges will continue to come, and our response is going to be very different. It's going to be the one that comes to the aid. It's going to be the one that says, well, I don't really want to spend my time on whatever this thing is going on over here. So what are my other solutions and choices? And then you will focus on that. You have to watch your focus 100%. Where are you placing it? I told you guys, you watching conspiracies and you guys start to feel really bad and things start to go bad in your life, right? things are not happening really, the way you like them to. Well, guess what? You can change anything. And the energy that you expose yourself to is what you actually, it's the level that you're at. Because I don't watch those things. I'm not attracted to it. I don't desire it. And so if you do, then you have to ask yourself if you're on that frequency. Are you on that frequency? Then you're going to want that. And therefore you're tuning into that station and that's what you're hearing. And therefore your life will reflect it. It's just that simple. The universe always says yes because it creates everything and judges nothing. So if you are judging, you're going to live in the world of separation conflict. If you respect that all of us have our own opinions and yours doesn't have to be mine, I don't even have to talk about it. Why would I talk about it? Somebody said, well, I like to get educated or educate others. And I thought, no, you really don't. You just want to prove a point. Let's be really honest. Let's heart to heart. You really want to be right, and you think what you think is right. Isn't that amazing? How can what you think always be right? Because it's your world and you created it. You get to do that. Are you ready to step into the new world? These will be tests constantly, whether it's politicians or fires or natural disasters. They're all going to test. Now what are you going to do? And here it is. The matrix is just a series of tests. All of it is a series of tests. Yeah. My response is what determines everything. The subject matter is irrelevant. It's my response. Yes. And yours is okay too. Even if you pick one that's negative, I'm not going to judge it. That's going to be the world you choose. And that's your path. That's okay. Not to be judged. The universe doesn't judge. Only humans do that. I have my book out, and it is getting rave reviews. People said that they were absolutely blown away by it, so that's really great. Those of you who have ordered my book, thank you so much. Please write a review. I'll go to Amazon and let them know if you like it, and if you don't write the review. I'd say I'm kidding, but I'm not. No, so far I'm getting great feedback, and I think it'll blow your mind. There's no area I don't talk about. And if you read this book, it could actually change your life. I'm not kidding about that. If you actually opened your mind and thought, it's possible that this is my reality, then you will go in an unlimited space where all things are possible for anyone, because we are equal, beautiful light energies playing out the role of a human, being tested. We chose it. It's not imposed on you. I wouldn't choose this. Okay, read the book. So I hope you'll go over and do that. That's how I get supported. I hope you'll subscribe. Yeah, it's not easy to keep these channels running. People like conspiracies, and if you are supporting that, you're supporting a world that's going to give you more of that because you're telling it. That's artificial intelligence, right? Nothing so artificial about it. What do you like? I'll give you more of it. What are you watching, my friend? Yeah. So be careful with that. We create the reality, and we create what's given to us according to what we're demanding. That includes what you eat and everything else. All right, these are free. I have something really new for you. It's coming out here, and you can sign up for a how to create a publishing online KDP business, have multiple books, and earn money doing it, and have absolutely no training at all. And you actually don't even have to write the book if you don't want to. Yeah, I'm serious about that. They actually do that for you. And you can be a published author with an online business. That's here. That's something new I'm doing because I chose to do it myself for my own book. And so far, it's working beautifully. All right, so let's get started on doing amazing things. Let's get creative. Let's share positivity. Let's create solutions. You'd be amazed at how much you could benefit from that financially and help the world at the same time. What a concept! You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. These videos are free, and so I introduce you to all kinds of opportunities to change your life, from what you use on your body, to what you do for a living, to just coming in and maybe doing Breakthrough Fear, my 5-star course, which is groundbreaking because it is changing people's lives, how they see the world, how they feel. They're completely renewed, and you'll get to see those videos. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.